Just dodge that bullet. He's probably gonna come back and try to get me. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna wait for him up at the top of this hill and see if he comes back. I'm not falling for your little tricks there, Sheriff. It sucks too, because I wanted to rip it up this road right here. Alright, let's pull it over right here and see if he comes. I'll give him a few minutes. Alright, so while we're waiting to see if that sheriff comes back, I want to talk to you guys about the experience and the differences between the Japanese machinery and the exotic Italian machinery. Because, in case you hadn't noticed, I'm on a 2016 Aprilia RSV4. And, but before you go thinking I'm some sort of exotic bike snob, I've been on Japanese bikes my whole life. I have 2 Japanese bikes now. One's a Honda VFR 800, which I have logged literally 90,000 miles on it, and it had 30,000 miles on it when I bought it. My other bike is my daily traveler to work and back. It's my Suzuki GSX-S 1000, which I bought in 2016. So yeah, I'm not really against Japanese bikes, so you know, you guys that have Japanese bikes, don't be hating, all right? Anyways, I'm gonna wait here for a little bit more, make sure that cop doesn't come back. In the meantime, let's roll that intro. Alright, so it doesn't look like he's coming back, so let's do this. I ain't got time to wait. Look at this day we're having, man. It rained all day yesterday, and I mean all day, which is rare here in Southern California. And now we have these beautiful clear skies with really awesome clouds. I love it. Anyways, if it's hard to hear me today, it's because I got my GP pipe on. Because after I filmed this video, I was going to film one of my eargasm videos where I don't talk, I just ride with the really loud pipe on it. And this pipe is super loud, man. So I got to keep the bike really like in low RPMs, or else you won't hear a word I'm saying. Now, the first thing that comes to mind when people think of the Italian bikes is price. And yeah, they are across the board more expensive than the Japanese bikes. Ducati start at 20,000 and go up to 30,000 real quick. The great thing about the Aprilia that I'm on is this bike is stickered at about $17,000. If you buy it at the right time, this bike was stickered at $13,000. That's about $2,000 to $3,000 less than the Japanese 1000s at the time. Now, if you were to buy the RF model like this, it's exactly the same as this, same motor, everything. It's got all-in suspension and lighter wheels. The price jumps up to about $23,000 really fast. Now, Japanese 1000s, they on average are around, I would say, 15,000, somewhere in there. But if you buy the really high-end ones like the R1M, you're looking at about $23,000 for the Yamaha R1M. If you want the high-performance Honda Fireblade, you're looking at about $22,500. For the Kawasaki H2, that thing's at $25,000. I would never pay that for that bike. That bike to me is all hype. Love this road, man. At speed, so fun. The biggest drawbacks that most people worry about with like the Italian exotic machinery, gravel, is reliability. And it's a 50-50 chance. You might get one that's super reliable, you might not. In general, what's going on with the Aprilia is little minor electronic problems that are easy to fix. I've got the extended warranty on this bike, and I'm not even worried about it. I've had a couple of small electronic issues, but they were really no big deal. Yamaha is having problems right now with their transmissions, and that's a big deal, man. Your tranny goes out, you're gonna spend some serious bucks on that. So just because you bought Japanese doesn't mean you're not gonna have problems with that bike. Sorry, my voice is cracking today. My voice is a little hoarse from yelling last night at a heavy metal concert. And look at my Suzuki 1000. It is in the shop right now because twice now the ignition key stuck. It will not turn. I can't turn the bike on. And so that's basically borderline a recall issue right there. And you think, well, it's no big deal. It's just a key, right? Wrong. The first time I took it in to have it fixed, it cost over $500. Luckily, it was under warranty. So that's being dealt with right now. So you just never know, man. Another thing we worry about with these Italian bikes is valve adjustment. When you got to do it and the price compared to the Japanese bikes. This bike right here, at 12,000 miles, I got to get the valves adjusted. And I'm already at about $5,500. Bike's only about 6 months old. It's going to cost me $900 to get my valves checked. I did some research, and I believe for the Honda CBR 1000RR, it's at 15,000 miles instead of 12,000 miles, and you're looking at about half that price. I saw prices around $300 to $400, so maybe the V4 engine is just more trickier to work on, and they just bend us over more because we're on an exotic bike. That happens a lot, you know. All right, what else we have to worry about? I'm checking this road for gravel right now because I want to come ripping through here on the way home. A big problem with exotic bikes is making sure you have a dealer close to you. Luckily, I got an Aprilia dealer within 8 miles, and then another one at about 35 miles away. I hear guys like are 400 miles from their closest dealer. Japanese bikes dealers for support and all that are really close. If you got to go get an oil filter, you know, a lot of times you can order that stuff online, but it's nice to have a dealer close to you, and that can be discouraging in itself. So I bought this Aprilia because it was very close to home, you know, and that really covers it for the drawbacks. So those are the only downfalls of having an Italian bike. But I got a whole bunch of good reasons why I love being on an Italian bike. And the one thing you'll get from these bikes is the exotic sound. The sound note is just off the charts compared to the inline fours. That's my personal opinion. Some people like the inline four sound. To me, a twin or a triple or the V4 just have a very unique, more like a thumpy sound, you know what I mean? And to me, the V4, it just blows the twin and the triple away. I mean, this thing, to me, sounds the best. And I just watched a video from one of the motorcycle magazines. I think it was like motorcycle.com. They just did a shootout against all the Japanese 1000s. And the Aprilia was in that mix. And every single editor or every single test rider loved the RSV4 V4 engine because of the sound, man. It's just amazing. Now, another thing about the exotic bikes is they always have an exotic look, you know, the Italian bikes. I kind of equate them to like sports cars, like supercars. Like, to me, the Ducatis remind me of like a Ferrari because they're always just like all red, really basic, not heavy graphics. They don't really have like a gurgly sound. And then like the Aprilia RSV4, I kind of compare that or equate that to like a Lamborghini. A little bit of a sharper lines in the bodywork. The sound is a little bit meaner, deeper, more growly. You just don't get that with the Japanese inline fours. Now the Yamaha R1, I will grant it, that bike sounds freaking amazing. Look at these little kids. They're loving life, man. That's the way to live out here, man. Look at all this. You got all this open riding out here. You just leave your house and ride. Another thing you get with these Italian bikes is gobs of power. Oh my God, this bike is scary fast. Japanese bikes you're looking at, they hover around 150, 160 at the rear wheel. you're looking at about 180, 185 on this bike right here, and you're getting the same from the Ducatis. 201 at the back wheel. That's just insane horsepower. Now on this bike, I put on a GP pipe. I've got the race electronics, and I changed my gearing to go -1 in the front and +1 in the back. The amount of pulling power this bike now has compared to stock is phenomenal, night and day. I can't even keep the front end down. First, second, third gear, doesn't matter. So much power. You know, a lot of people say, well, that's more power than you can even use. It's like, no, man, you can appreciate the power even from a standstill, you know, leaving. What the fuck, dude? What an idiot, man. You gotta be careful out here because there's a bunch of freaking druggies and they'll probably shoot you in a second. So yeah, you're gonna get more power from the Italian bikes. Of course, you know, the high-end Yamaha, Honda, Kawasaki bikes, they have a ton of power too. I'm not saying they don't. One thing I've noticed about the Italian bikes is they always seem a little bit taller on the seat. Like when I got this bike, I was like, wow, that thing is tall, man. I'm 5'11" and I'm tippy-toeing on this bike. I don't have a Ducati, so I don't know, but they look tall. I mean, I look at it like this. Look at the Japanese bikes. Yeah, what? No bro wave? Come on, dude. That's so non-Southern California Harley versus sport bike guy. Driving these dogs crazy. Hee, what's up, puppies? Love dogs. Waving at that guy, he was scoping up my back. Alright, so what was I talking about? Oh yeah, women. Alright, let's say the Japanese bikes are like a really good looking American woman. She's beautiful, she's great to look at. She's got a nice voice, you know, a sexy voice. There's really nothing exotic about her. She's just, I don't want to say plain, but she's just kind of a basic beauty, you know what I mean? These Italian bikes to me are like, you know, they have like an accent and they have a really exotic look, you know, and not only are they beautiful, but they have an exotic kind of a beautiful, and they sound exotic. So yeah, that's how I compare it to like women, you know what I mean? I mean, I've even heard of guys on like the BMW S1000RR. They sold it to get the Aprilia RS-V4 because they wanted a bike with more character. I hear that word character thrown around a lot when it comes to bikes. And people are like, what do you mean character? You know, I mean, what's that all about? And I guess what I can say is, like, when I ride my Suzuki 1000, it's got as much power as the GSX-R. It is a GSX-R motor and like a naked bike frame. And it's got a lot of power, not as much as this by any means, but it's just so smooth, you know what I mean? Like, it's just a smooth linear power. It doesn't backfire, it doesn't crackle pop. It just doesn't really excite me, you know? It doesn't move me. And then when I get on this bike here, even just going slow, it just, the sound of the motor, the V4, the crackling and the popping and the way it's thunderous, you know, that to me gives the bike a lot of character. I mean, all right, look at electric bikes. It's not just about raw numbers on paper like horsepower. It's about how it moves you, you know. Like, if I'm on an electric bike, I don't give a crap if that thing's got a ton of torque and how fast it goes. It's gonna be boring as heck, and all I'm gonna hear is the wind, you know. I'm like, yeah. So yeah, to me, the exotic bikes, the Italian bikes, they just have a certain character you're not gonna get with the Japanese bikes. You're not gonna get with the inline four, sorry. The Yamaha, yeah, I hear Yamahas go by sometimes. I'm like, my God, that sounds sexy. But, you know, that's only one bike in all the Japanese bikes. The BMW, even the high-end Honda, the high-end Kawasaki H2, they're all inland fours, you know. They just don't have that sound. So anyways, guys, that's all I got to say about that. Thanks for spending part of your day with me. Don't forget, videos every Monday. If you want to help support my channel, I'd love to see you guys visit my Patreon page, and you can win cool stuff every month. That's it. I'll see you guys next Monday.